Hi YouTubers, this is another video from me, Evelyn. Today we're going to be reviewing another Korean drama thriller series. It's called The Night Has Come. So this is another high school mystery plot. The last couple of years since the big success of All of Us Is Dead, we've seen other K-dramas follow the similar formula of high schoolers having to deal with an end of the world situation per se. So I've seen up to episode 10. I'm just going to, this video is just highlighting the key points and the interesting part of the show. Initially what I knew about the show, something about the game, mafia, I had no idea. I legitimately thought the real mafia kidnapped some kids and put them in a torture situation. So the series starts off that a high school trip that all the kids are in the bus and they're gonna go to this resort, but the main lead actress of Lee Jae-in, she plays Lee Young-soo. She has a dream at the beginning of her falling off from the top of a school building and she wakes up. Now that to me was like, okay, this has some supernatural elements to it. I reminiscent of, like, let's say Final Destination or other horror movies where the main character has a premonition through a dream. And she's sitting next to her friend of Jung-won, that she's very good in computers, and we see the main leading actor of Kim Woo-seok. He plays the class president of Kim Jung-hee. So they all go there, and when the teacher gets off from the bus, he gets a phone call and he receives a garbled messages from a young girl telling the teacher not to go there. So the teacher goes off into the main reception and all the high school kids are there. One thing from episode 1, they never clarified what was the purpose of this trip, so I knew that was suspicious. So as the night drags on, all the kids are having fun, doing whatever. I say kids, but they're high schoolers, like close to, let's say, 18 to 19. That's probably the age range here. And they're all doing their thing, and then all of a sudden, they all receive a mysterious text message saying that they'll be invited to play the game of the mafia. Now the sense of this game is, they're told that there's mafia within the group, and there's citizens, a doctor, and a police officer, that there's secret roles, and they don't know which is which. And they need to find out who the mafia is, if not they'll get killed. So they all brush it off, they're like, oh okay, this is baloney. But before that, one of the young boys, I can't remember the boy's name, like he was like a joker, he only survived episode 1. He goes and tells them a ghost story about this young girl that went and killed herself, so interesting plot point there. So they all decided to vote for the boy that joked about it because they think he's pranking them, so that happens. But in the midst of that, the main girl of Lee Young-sung, she's by the swimming pool, and then she gets a surprise that the mean girl of Kim Soo-mi celebrating her birthday. But Kim Soo-mi goes and pushes Lee Young-soo into the swimming pool, and she's like they're drowning, but the class president jumps in and saves her, but not before her being pulled by some supernatural force of a girl. So we see that ghost girl, she disappears and she ends up coming out. And then as 11 o'clock approaches for the voting to close, all the high schoolers are horrified when this young boy who played the joke ends up killing himself. His eyes turn white, ends up jumping out through the window. But the boy first hear a high-pitched sound that triggers some sort of like homicidal impulse. So he jumps out the window and they're all horrified to see him splat down on the floor, on the road. Now when I saw that, I was like, this is definitely supernatural, because I don't know of such an equipment, even if the army may have something like this, or even God knows where, that a high-pitched sound can trigger you to go and kill yourself horrifically. So after that happens, they have no idea what the hell's going on. So they go to the media room within this old house. Well, I don't even know, it's called a retreat center, but it kind of looks like an old high school, and all the decorations reminiscent of The Shining, for God's sake. So they go to the media room and find that nobody's there, and all the high schoolers are turning to the class president, telling him, what should we do? So, of course, he has no idea what the hell's going on either, so he tells everybody, let's just go to sleep and maybe the adults will be here in the morning. And they wake up and nothing. But in the midst that the class president of Kim Jung-hee, he's there where the telephones are, and we hear the telephones going off, ringing, and Kim Jung-hee's like, is there anybody there? Is there anybody there? And there's nobody. Until the rest of the gang of Lee Young-soo and her best friend and the mean girl, they go in there and they see that the class president is acting crazy, and they're like, what the hell's going on? Until they see that the phones are going off, but they're not connected. Now, there's at what point do you start to think supernatural if you see two evidences of that there's nobody there, that the telephones are ringing by themselves? So as the episodes progress, we see the main characters, like the main bully of Ko Kyujun, that he has his little posse and he's there manipulating stuff. He's instrumental. And of course we see the mean girl that we end up finding out in later episodes. She always has this homicidal tendency. And then we see the other characters, because of course each of these high school kids end up dying by the mafia, but it's for a reason. Now I'm gonna jump forward. It gets revealed around episode 8 or 9. Now, if you don't want to know the spoilers, I suggest you log off. Because beforehand, there's more supernatural events in which the main girl, Lee Young-sun, gets shown these things. Well, kind of makes her look suspicious. She ends up falling through where the cold room is in the building. And she goes to the second floor where she finds surveillance cameras. And when she goes to tell the other people, they see that there's nothing there, so they go and accuse her. So we get to episode 8 and we find out that it gets confirmed to everybody that the host of the game is a dead classmate of Park Se-eun. Now, we find out that all the memories of this classmate was erased, and only when Lee Young-soo gets the text message revealing the name of the host and memories return. And then we find out that this poor young girl was bullied by a group of Kim Seung-hee, of Cho Min-nam, of Jin Dan-boom. He was another character that we thought he was bullied, but more like a manipulator and an instigator and things. From the sense that we get that this poor young girl from their classroom, she was bullied, harassed, and they filmed probably a explicit tape, maybe a violation, maybe they took off her clothes, and that apparently she either killed herself or the rumor she was murdered. But it's a little bit iffy because in episode 10 kind of sees that Kim Joo-hee, he had the association with the dead girl. I think they were going out, but something happened, and through flashbacks we find out that he saw her jump off from the bridge, but from the bridge to the water, there was a bit of a splicing. So we don't know what happened, whether he managed to get the body, because he went into the lake, river, and it was knees deep in the water, but we get a jump forward that the paramedics are there and they carry her body out. So we already know the girl that I was really glad that finally she got her comeuppance of Kim So-mi. She gets exposed by the police. Of Annie Hee, she was also involved in the police, and she kind of regretted not revealing things earlier, but she used her death to go and expose the other mafia. Now that's up to episode 10. We know the main point of this is about a ghost getting revenge. Now, this is plainly supernatural, or the high school teenagers, they don't really want to believe it, so like, what do you do? So are these people really dead, or is the end of the show going to be that they all wake up, they find the adults there, and they all decide to confess the perpetrators? Or is this all the high school kids dead already, and this is a big sick joke? Or the third option, the police went and instigated all of this to bring to light who really died. So, who's ever seen the episode so far, leave your comments down below. Is this definitely all supernatural elements? That's one thing I believe. Or is this mass hallucination? Or number 3, a great experiment done by the police to find out what the hell really happened? Very good show. There was parts that left me creeped out. I was like, oh Jesus, this is getting creepy, because I personally find that to be horrifying, that you, like those horror movies, you find out that you were dead all along and you're in a perpetual purgatory. That to me is the worst thing that could happen, but things happen for a reason. Anyway, as I leave you always, stay safe. To any new viewers that watch this video, I really appreciate we can hit the subscribe button, leave your comments down below, and to all the current subscribers, big thank you for anyone that's watching. As I leave you always, stay safe.